Welcome back, Galaxy Brains. We are the Film Lovers Guides of the Galaxy. All three of us are back here again today. And today, we're actually going to talk about Disney Plus just released a new Disney Plus original, Chippendales Rescue Rangers. It's not the TV show, it is actually the movie. So I am very interested to hear the guys' thoughts. But first, we know what time it is as we start our show.
So I'm not gonna. The point of this rant is this. Let's say that costs you like 20 grand a year, okay? And the insurance covers 80. You're like, oh, it's a pretty good deal. Well, no, you have cancer.
What's the worst thing you'll do for $1 million?
Fuck you! Stop fucking dropping oil into the Gulf, you dipshits. Fucking morons.
What do you have for us this week, Joe?
Do you guys think that it's weird that couches are so expensive? You know, like it's like wood put together.
Yeah.
That's, and that's covered, and you put cushions on shit. And if you ever,
I wanna say yeah and no. I don't know, man. Couches are like, fucking expensive.
But I'm like, why? Because if you've seen a couch torn down, right? It's not that much material, and I don't think that much work goes into.
Joe, if I gave you the exact same material it took to build that couch, could you build it on your own?
No. But it shouldn't be like thousands of dollars.
But I just answered your question.
Yeah, but that could be applied to a lot of things. But not everything is overpriced.
Scarcity of the material. You can find
scarcity of the material.
Yeah, buddy.
Now, no.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
I think it's severely overpriced. What, wood and whatever the shit that you cover it with, the faux leather?
Whoa, we're talking pleather right now? I was just talking like
fucking, what is it, the cloth shit, whatever it is. It's just I don't get it.
I fucking, maybe it's because I'm a big guy.
Yeah, I fucking love couches.
I hate sitting on leather or any sort
you get
of
sticky,
leather.
Right? And like,
my lower back immediately starts sweating like a swamp. It's terrible. Why would, and then I stick to it, especially if it's like the summer.
Hot day. Yep.
A nightmare.
So
give me a cloth couch at any point.
Even with a cloth couch, because I've been sort of just looking for couches and all that kind of stuff.
Where are you looking for your couches? Living space? Living spaces will gouge you anyway.
Just whatever. I'm just window shopping, really. And like even places like Costco and things like that.
Living room couches, sofa, not even a sectional. Yeah, 79-inch sofa. That's a little longer than the 6. That's $500 right there for a 79-inch.
Yeah.
If you get an L, like the lounge one, it's never comfortable. No one ever sits on that part. $595.
And here's the thing: the ones you're looking at are these mass-produced things, right? Come on, right?
Yeah, totally.
And so, I don't know. It's just something like I know I'm probably bitching because I'm shopping for it now.
Would you rather pay the same price to somebody to build this couch for you?
I think if someone was building me a couch, it would cost a lot more.
But I'm just saying, like, hey, homie, I'm going to give you $700,
right? And
I want you to build this couch for me.
And you're assuming this guy's cool with $700?
Yeah, you would. Would you be more okay?
I think
him?
Here's the thing. Yeah. I think I would if the guy I knew was like woodworker of some kind,
a craftsman
or whatever. Because I know that the quality is very much likely to be better. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And like the odds, what?
No, go ahead. What?
I was gonna say, if you're mass producing this stuff, the odds of some sort of weird defect or like a nail coming, that's more likely.
Oh yeah.
So yes, maybe a little bit more.
Would you rather sit on have a couch or 2 individual captain's chairs with a recline option for your feet?
That sounds way more expensive, though.
I know. I'm just saying. Would you rather have a couch,
or like two lazy boys, basically,
or like a lazy boy for you and whoever you're with, your roommate, your partner, or whomever?
I know for a fact that the recliner is more comfortable.
100%.
Yep.
So that's the thing. But the thing is, those fucking recliners, like even Lazy Boy, because I know Lazy Boy is an expensive brand now. That shit is ridiculous, right? Especially if it's motorized in some way.
Let's see how much this recliner is.
Oh,
Yeah, one of these. So living spaces, we have the Harvest steel powered lift recliner with power headrest and lumbar.
oh God, thousands of dollars.
No, $695.
Oh, but here's the thing: it does seat one, right? So you got to get two of those suckers, right?
Has a
That's
USB
13 right there.
charger, has USB chargers and a remote control. Hey, bud, it's fabric. That might be.
But you got to get two. You got to get two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't be that guy if you're entertaining.
Friends sit on the floor.
That's like the friend that gives you the good that doesn't give you the good controller.
Shitty ass controller.
Oh, this thing is like drifting. Yeah. So don't make excuses, man.
Oh God, yeah, it's so expensive. I don't know. Like, I think furniture in general is just stupid expensive. Even if someone, if you're starting off and you're filling out your home, and even if you go to IKEA and buy a ton of shit, it's not the cheapest thing,
IKEA was acceptable when we were 22.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When you're just starting out,
when you're starting college.
Here's the thing, though. I gotta say though, I have yet to have it because I have a bunch of IKEA shit still. I have yet to have something break, because it's particle board compressed together. Maybe I'm not a heavy user, but like a dresser or like a shelf, I have yet to have one break. Knock on wood.
But I had an IKEA bed that lasted all of 6 months. It was it was dog shit.
Okay. But I mean, it's IKEA, so everyone knows IKEA is not meant to be like the top tier shit. It's supposed to be like the very cheap, affordable option, right?
I made my desk out of IKEA, and I'm very happy.
There you go. See,
I got
sometimes you get it
like a countertop butcher block.
Oh, you use that,
and I put it on two
drawer thingies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, amazing.
That's one of the few exceptions, I'd say.
Yeah,
but I just don't know. I've been just thinking about that, and I just
so there was this one time I went to IKEA to get a desk. I used to have a corner desk, the kind that
the L desk.
No, yeah. Well, it's kind of like, it was like a wedge. It's like a pie piece.
I see. It's angled. Yeah. Okay.
Because I was an idiot and I thought those were cool.
They're fine.
They're fine, but so
you grow out of it.
So I had a Jetta when I was growing. I've had my first 3 or 4 cars were Jettas. I leased a bunch of Jettas.
Okay.
Well, did not fit in that car at all. So I'm sitting there just sweating my ass off, trying to shove this flat piece of desk in the back, and it's just not going. I would have had to do this up to the front, So I had to call my mom. Mom, can you come help me? She has a truck.
Okay.
And she was like, yeah, that's fine. But why didn't you ask me before? Oh, I thought I could do myself. I was just an idiot.
Because the other thing I'm bringing up is I'm moving as well soon. And I fucking hate moving. I don't think anyone alive is going to be like, yes, it's a move.
My brother is going through it right now.
Dude, it sucks ass. He's moving across the country too, just fucking overseas.
Yeah,
it sucks.
Him and his wife have had to get rid of a lot of shit.
Right. So it's either a lot of those things. People either toss a lot of stuff, and another thing is this: moving. If you're gonna get a pod or something, that shit fucking spiked up. I got a quote for a pod. If you guys aren't aware what a pod is, it's just a fucking U-Haul crate thing that you fill up and they pick it up and drop it off. That shit, the cost for that pod for my moving dates were more than the value of the stuff I put in it.
Wow.
You know what? At a certain point, when you're moving, you're just maybe I should just purge all of it.
Just fuck it. Throw it all away.
Purge it. And then we can
live like a nomad for a couple years.
We'll just rebuild.
That sucks too,
Fucking redo everything.
Yeah, I just don't know. That's just sort of what I'm going through right now. Just looking at possible furniture shit because I sold half my shit, but some furniture stuff, just dealing with moving, and it's just a big pain in the ass. And I don't wish it upon anyone, but I think most people would agree. It fucking hate that shit. You just want to. I think the goal is to, if you have to go through it, and that's, for example, buying furniture, you pay a little bit up the ass for a nice couch that'll last you as long as possible, and that's just what people go with.
Couches are investments, so I would think that's what the price tag is, because you don't buy a couch just to only use for 1 year, right? You're thinking about keeping it for multiple years. So
I suppose, but like, let's say that you got a metal table, that shit's gonna outlast you. Like,
do you own a metal table? Like, what do you mean by metal table?
No, let's say that you had a table that had a metal top to it, right? It's like one of those tables that are.
What kind of table?
Like a
bench.
What
is it used for?
It's for like if you're like blacksmithing or some shit, working on top of that shit.
Get the fuck out of it! Okay.
The point I'm making is this: even if you were to buy a basic table, let's say a coffee table, right? A basic coffee table,
sure,
that you're using just in front of your couch. The function of that table is very limited. You're not going to really stand on it or sit on it. You're just going to put cups on it, right? So you shouldn't be having to pay $400-$500 for a fucking coffee table, even though some people do. Some people do.
There are two very nice looking coffee tables that I'm looking at from IKEA that are
$40.
$40.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
That is an investment too that lasts a long time. That might last as long as your couch.
I understood. What I'm saying about the couch is that we know that you're investing. That's why beds are expensive too, right? Even though
you mean
because
mattress.
you're sleeping, your mattress, you're sleeping.
Mattresses
right?
are just a racket.
You have to spend a lot of money on the mattress.
Okay, so but I would say that where mattresses or beds are like 100% about the mattress and what you sleep in, I would say couches are expensive because 50% of it is the functionality of it. The other 50 is your aesthetic. Like, because you, like Jared said a little bit earlier about having people over, right? If you're just only going to get 2 lazy boys and you have like 5-6 people coming over, I mean,
all right,
and you already claimed one of the lazy boys, right? And if you have a partner, they have a lazy boy. Everyone else is going to be sitting on the floor, right, with the coffee table that's this high up. And that's where the price comes into play.
On that point, you know how at least with the mattress, they put all this, R&D and whatever into making sure the mattress is good. And when you buy a mattress, you want to have it as hard or as soft as you want it to be to support your back or whatever, right? If they put that much effort into a fucking, a sofa couch, I think is just stuffed bullshit, right? I just think it's just stuffed bullshit. I think it's just like a bunch of whatever the fake soft shit's in there.
What, the sofa couch? Because
right, if you pull out the actual sofa couch, it's probably some bullshit, right? So if they were to put the same R&D into a comfortable couch like that, then I can reasonably say $700,000. Okay. But if it's just stuffed bullshit for both the seating and the back, which most of the time it is, with shitty upholstery, basic ass shitty upholstery, it does not warrant the price tag. And that's my rant for today.
I mean, gosh, I'm looking at some of these prices for shit. Like,
it's stupid, right? It's stupid.
I mean, yes, it is. I think the price is all about how to build the aesthetic of your living room. Now, how important that is to you is a completely different question, but I think that's a big selling point on why you want your living room to look like this model that we have in our showroom. It's going to cost you X, Y, and Z, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes I feel like if we are going for comfort, Jared's right. We might as well just buy lazy boys for everybody, right? That's what I'm saying. But that's not the case. So
Lazy Boy, by the way, so I was watching just a video, like a random video, this guy, hey, I got a new couch. Lazy Boy sells full-on sectional couches. Now, they're probably expensive as shit, but they're probably really comfortable. And it looked really nice. But, yeah, that's...
So, Joe...
Yeah, say it ain't so. What's up?
Do you own a bed frame?
Yes, I own actually an IKEA bed frame. It's a very basic one. Why, what's up?
I was wondering. I just figured you were going to raw
You
dog
have my
it.
shit on the ground.
I tell you what,
Yeah.
ladies, turn off the pod.
Uh-oh.
I prefer it on the ground. I fucking hate having a high up bed. I like to sleep on the ground.
Do you think having like a mattress box or whatever it is, that thing, does that help at all?
Box spring? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tell me, I think it depends. Tell me, why is it acceptable to have a futon, but not acceptable for my fucking mattress to be on the ground?
Oh, there's
I'll
nothing.
wait.
It's a social thing, probably.
I'll fucking wait. No, can't. Sorry.
Yeah, the only thing I could say is that if you have your mattress on a frame, it's easier to get out of bed. That's it. You know, you can just roll over.
Okay.
That's it.
I'll give you that.
Yep. But everything else, yep.
So you don't have a bed frame.
I do.
You have like you do. But
I 100% do.
Okay.
You guys know why I have a bed frame.
Okay. So box spring below on top.
No, I have a platform.
Oh, you have a platform.
Okay.
Platform. So I don't have a bed frame. I have the box spring that's under there.
Okay.
I don't care for a bed frame. To me, this is an aesthetic thing. That's what it is, right? More or less. Or like a head. Is it a headrest? A back. Whatchamacallit?
The headboard.
Headboard. That's what it is, right? Do you guys have a headboard on your beds?
I do.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
I don't think it's necessary, but I think it's a purely aesthetic thing, right?
Yeah.
It looks pretty.
It just looks pretty because it's like it completes
and the only thing I have to say is I think it's with the headboard it might be a little bit harder to lose shit, behind it. Like, because I have my charger running through it, in a weird way.
Okay.
And the likelihood of me losing that cable and having to dig in there is a little bit less, but that's really about it.
Joe, let me ask you something. Since you're moving, what is non-negotiable? What is things that you have to take with you that is furniture-wise or things that
for
are
me
big? Right now, like
so
what is
I'm
expendable?
So since I am taking in terms of furniture, it's just the bed. I think it's just because I spent so much money on the bed that selling it for a fraction of the price and buying it again is stupid. Because I have to have, and this is me sounding bougie and bullshit, but I have to have a nice bed, like a nice mattress. And I firmly believe that if you're spending a third of your life sleeping or whatever it is, you gotta take care.
Better be comfortable as hell.
Right. Whatever helps you sleep, whatever makes you not feel like shit in the morning, whatever it is. So it's a bed. And the weird thing is actually my current chair. It's like a nice steel case or some kind of chair that I spent like $800 on. I've used it for 4 years, and it gives me good lumbar support. And it's a small thing, so it's one of the. I mean, I don't know if you consider that furniture. I'm taking that, and that's really about it. Everything else, I sold like half my stuff, but I am still taking like dining table, for example. I mean, that stuff. It's an IKEA dining table. You can kind of take it apart. It's not that big of a deal. Everything I have can fit inside of a U-Haul. Okay. The problem is I live on the fucking second floor, which is awesome. Fucking hate it. So, other than that, I mean, I just have just absolute metric shite ton of clothes that I'm looking to kind of probably give away to Goodwill before I leave.
All right, Jared, what are some great things that you've been watching over the past week?
I have been watching the documentary The Last Dance that's about Michael Jordan and the Bulls. Been having it on the background while I do homework. I'm in my last 2 weeks of my credential class. So in 2 weeks, I will be a partway credentialed, preliminarily credentialed teacher in the state of California.
Oh, right on.
So I've been doing that work, and I'm just, it's insane to me that people don't talk about how much of a psychopath Michael Jordan was.
I took that shit personally.
And it wasn't even I took that shit personally. Like, we all, that's fine. But the way he was able to make up these stories in his head about people to motivate him to do better. You take that in any other context, and I played sports all my life. Johnny, Joe, you guys have stuff. Johnny, you played basketball, you played sports, Joe, you were in competitive violining, like that kind of stuff, like first chair, second chair, that kind of shit. When it's directed towards those kind of things, our society's like, oh, that's so great. He was able to do this. But if I was like I made that shit up and I did this for a teaching job, they'd be like, whoa, what the fuck? You know, like just stuff like that. And it's just crazy how much we like admire these clearly psychopaths. Like if Michael Jordan did not have sports, he'd be a serial murderer.
I feel like he'd be a gambler.
Oh, yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, he would direct these obsessive compulsive traits towards something negative, and like I don't know, man. Like, what's the difference between like Ted Bundy and Michael Jordan? Like,
holy shit,
one's a really good basketball player. One murdered and killed a bunch of women. You know what I mean? Like 6 rings. Yeah.
God
like,
damn. Jesus
I'm
Christ.
like, part of this is like facetious a little bit, but if you look at like the personality traits of these people, like they are driven. You know what I mean? They are driven. They are, they pay attention, you know, like same thing with the CEO of a company and president of the United States. They share certain markers in their personality that if they weren't going towards something else, they would be like a serial killer or something. It's very interesting when you.
So you're saying kind of if anyone exhibited serial killer tendencies, push them to a sport?
No, not at all. I'm just saying, like, you know, it's very interesting when you see that stuff like that. But you know, Michael Jordan had a support system. He had really great relationship with his father. My favorite parts of that doc, though, are the stuff with him, but when he's modern day Jordan is interacting with the people that he played against. You know, like he's looking at the iPad and laughing with Gary Payton, saying like, "Oh no, yeah, I had him," and like even now, you see Jordan on that bench on the Hornets bench yelling. You know he wants to get out there.
Yep.
Do you think he could like have like a stat line if he had some time to train these days?
Yes. I mean, some, but it's just the fact that, you know, I'm sure he has like a bum knee of some kind. And
this dude's body, just what he went through, it's insane. Like the game now is so different, and it makes me angry watching this dope ass 90s basketball of when everybody had some good players on their team. Everybody. And it wasn't so condensed onto one or two teams. Like basketball was democratized. Mm-hmm. It was
just long as the players got paid. That's my only. As long as they get paid, and it's a, you know, makes it as even. That's why I guess at least for the playoffs this year, you don't, you know, anyone could, I guess, could be a winner, which is nice.
Yeah, you know? I just like when you go back and you look at, say, that 98 team. You had on the Pacers, you had Reggie Miller, Mark Jackson,
Rick Smits.
You had the shooter, Chris Mullen. You had like these role players that were great. And then at the same time, you had Utah Jazz with Hornacek, Stockton, Malone. You had these role players that played their part to perfection. And each team had those guys. You had those journeymen, you know, that I felt were more prevalent in the game than they are now. They're so specialized now. I think it takes away a lot of the magic of the game. I don't know. Is this just me being like back in my day, or is that?
You do have a lot of good players on, you know, a lot of teams.
Yes and no. I think you're right about it being like everyone is specialized, especially these days. It's like you're either the star, you're a 3-and-D player, you specialize in either defense or offense, right? Like David Bertans on the Dallas Mavericks would not be on any other error except for this one, because he could shoot threes, and he's not even doing that well right now.
Would Steve Kerr be on any team today?
Yes.
I don't think just because it's really good three-point
shooting. So,
but he wasn't that good. Like at the beginning, you know, like he wasn't.
Understood. I think the biggest thing with someone like we talk about back then is like if I gave them the same training as they have today, I think it would kind of change.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh my gosh, the training.
Yeah.
Steph Curry wouldn't be a player right now because his feet would have just and ankles would have destroyed him.
Correct.
He would have had to be he'd be the Bill Walton, you know?
Yeah. And I think the only thing about the NBA this time around that my friend John and I talk about a lot is that it's getting, I think AAU is probably
Yeah.
the worst thing that has happened to actual basketball itself, because those guys, it's all about networking and it's not so much about the competitive basketball nature of it. So that's why when people watch maybe The Last Dance and see how crazy Jordan is, or Kobe was that crazy too. Unfortunately for Kobe, it's because he's in LA, so everyone endears him. But if he was on any other team, I'm telling you right now, if Kobe Bryant was to play for the Los Angeles Clippers, we would think that guy is a freaking fool. It's because he was a Laker. So that being said, they have that mentality, they have that drive that players these days just don't have. It's because they're not built that way anymore.
Yeah.
It is course of nature happening, right?
That also makes me really sad. Another reason why Kobe has died, because I think he would have done so much for women's basketball. You know, I think he would have been with his daughter. He would have pushed that sport accelerated it way faster than it is right now.
Because he was the only one that really champions it.
Yeah.
Everyone else, like if you see other NBA stars, they'll tweet about it, they'll talk about it, but he's the only one that truly
was in it.
And I think the only reason, and I know he loves basketball, but the fact that he had daughters is probably the best thing that would have happened for the WNBA, because he knew what that was. That being said, I remember you talking about The Last Dance. I if you guys do go watch that documentary, there is at the end of, I think, episode 7, where Jordan, he ends up crying at the end of that episode because he was talking about his mentality and his drive. Holy shit, that's like the most emotion you'll ever see from Michael Jordan. And it was real.
It was specifically about, are you would you say that you're a good guy because of your intensity or this? And it short fucking circuited him. He's and he was trying to justify it, and then this, and then that. Like, it was incredible. That moment. Oh my God. Do you guys, when that came out, it was a unifying piece of media at the time we all needed it during quarantine. It was, we all were talking about it. We all could interact with it during like the worst fucking times. It was incredible. It's just so good.
Yeah, and it's like, I remember watching it because, I watch a lot of the stuff, and there's certain stories where if you are a person that knows basketball, you probably either forgot or little nuggets that come in there about the whole Rodman going to Vegas the day after one of those games, right? But then if you're someone that's new, that's never heard about the Bulls and especially this team and Jordan and his run, it's very good history, more or less, to kind of learn. But I'm glad that you're rewatching it. I know it's on Netflix now, so
just incredible. Other than that, I haven't really been. I've been keeping up with Better Call Saul. The mid-season finale is Wednesday. Yeah, not really much. I'm just kind of pushing towards the end of the year at my job, and I'll have summer to do absolutely nothing. It will be fantastic.
All right, Joe. What about you? What's some of the good stuff that you've been watching this past week?
So for whatever reason, I watched the Discovery. I don't know if it's just because it was on. It's the Netflix movie. I think it came out, I don't know, like five years ago, or something. Like, it's about someone figuring out there is an afterlife, and it's with Jason Segel, Rooney Mara.
Okay. Oh yeah, I remember.
Robert Redford. Yeah. Because I've been on like a sci-fi kick. So I go to a streaming, Hulu or Netflix, whatever. I go, a little sci-fi, check it out. So it was fine. I think it's pretty forgettable though. I feel kind of bad about it, and so that a friend of mine really wants to watch The Lost City. I don't know how to feel about that.
Sandy Bullock.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. And also, they also want to watch the new Liam Neeson movie, but I can't help but think it's just Taken 6 or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh yeah,
it's just, I mean, to his credit, I did enjoy Taken 1 and Taken 2, whatever it is. It's cool.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I just and so it got me thinking, with action actors, Liam Neeson, like I guess Matt Damon and blah blah blah. Like when they do these types of movies, is there an age limit? Just
I thought there was until Taken came out.
Right. So
and then you had Denzel doing The Equalizer. So I'm like, okay, I guess as long as you fast cut, you can have all the
I guess because it kind of popped in my because Bruce Willis, he has the aphasia thing, so he's just making a shit ton of C-list movies and.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Right. So when I heard about the aphasia and his decision to make a bunch of movies to help his family financially, props to him for that.
Well, he's stopped acting now. He's not even doing
he's in
movies anymore.
Last time I checked, I don't know if there's because they're in post production, but I've seen a couple C-level movies just kind of pop out.
Oh yeah, I think those are before it got bad.
Okay. So that just got me thinking. Is Liam Neeson too old to do? Or can he be edited such this way that that it's fine? Because anyone can just fake shoot a gun, right? It's the hand-to-hand combat.
I don't know.
Should not Alec Baldwin.
Ask Baldwin. Damn it, Johnny.
Oh God. But anyways, yeah. The point is, in an action movie, how much longer? First of all, I don't even know how old Liam Neeson is. Okay, I want to say he's 60.
I would say, if I had to guess, gun to my head, I would say 60.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Liam Neeson, age. He is 69.
No,
he's almost 70.
No,
dude, he's
that old.
He's turning 70 in June this year in a month. Yeah. Anyways, I mean, he looks good.
Qui-Gon Jinn is that old? That's wild.
Anyways, yeah. So because you still have people, really old heads, making movies and things like that. And props to them. You're doing this shit for 40 years. It's hard to let go, I guess. But yeah, it's just that's sort of the things I'm gonna watch them this week just because friends want to watch them and things like that. But that and then have you either of you guys watched Uncharted? That's the only thing I've personally felt.
No,
because I've played the games and I really enjoyed the games.
Gosh, the games are so good.
So I was just wondering is all. But you never
know. Did you watch it?
I did not. So I was wondering if you guys did.
Well, why don't we, Johnny? You play the games, right?
Yeah. Might have to do that, and that might be.
Yeah, we might have to do that. Yeah.
So
okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna leave that alone then. But that's really about it. I haven't really been watching much. I am again looking forward to the Bob's. You mentioned this before, Bob's Burger movie. That's gonna be sweet.
Oh man, when does that come out?
This upcoming week.
Yeah,
Memorial Day weekend.
Oh,
Top Gun and Bob's Burgers, the movie.
Oh my gosh,
a good Memorial Day weekend for the movies.
I wish shit wasn't popping off with the surge and everything, or else I would feel way more comfortable going and seeing these. But
you just gotta go on like a Wednesday, bro. That's just what you're gonna have to do.
I think that's what I'm gonna do during the summer when I am literally floating in my pool all day.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. That's the way to do it. But that's really about it. What about you, Johnny?
I watched a couple of movies on Paramount Plus. They're two older movies. I just haven't seen in a while. So first one of our listeners, we were talking about it. And she mentioned that she likes Paper Moon, and I haven't seen that movie in a while, right? So I rewatched that movie, and I forgot that movie is good. For a movie in the 70s, still doing black and white, and there's a lot of long takes that they do, and I understand why Tatum O'Neal won Best Supporting Actress. It's a really good road movie. It's a feel-good movie. So I watched that, and then second, I watched Star Trek Beyond. It's a very underrated movie. I thoroughly enjoyed that Star Trek movie.
Underrated? I thought most people liked it just fine, though.
it's underrated because it didn't make as much money as I think it should
Okay.
have. It
That was the one with that wasn't with that wasn't a JJ one, was it?
no, that was
Is that Benedict?
No, that was the second one. J.J.
Okay.
Abrams did the first two movies. Justin Lin did the third movie, and I enjoyed the third movie because it was very it felt like a Star Trek movie, and that didn't feel like a Star Wars movie inside a Star Trek body. That makes sense, right? And that's why I enjoyed it because Simon Pegg, he was the writer, or he was at least the co-writer, and Simon Pegg just loved Star Trek, so he understood kind of
he gets
how
it.
to write the story to it, and it felt like there was equal time for Chris. I was going to say Chris Pine, Zachary Quino, and Carl Urban. Like they spread the three leads in separate time, and I thought that was really cool because as much as I enjoyed the second one that had Benedict Cumberbatch in it, like Bones just got buried in that movie. Man, he was just there, and if you've watched like the original series, he was like integral. So having him not even have things to do kind of like probably rub people the wrong way. I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were the two movies, and they were good. I purposely made myself like, okay, I have Paramount Plus. Let me at least use this goddamn service. There's certain things in that movie that happens. I know they have those new Paranormal Activity movie, but it just doesn't look good. I don't know.
No.
If I want to, right? It's like the last time I used Paramount Plus was because we watched Scream. And that's the reason why I was on Scream and Jackass for shockingly reasons. Those are the two movies, right?
Speaking of Jackass, Jackass 4.5 is on Netflix, and I watched it last night. It is great. It goes. It's a behind the scenes on the movie and kind of explanation of like where they were at and new stunts. It's very funny.
All right, you guys, and so we come to our movie of the week. It is Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. I don't know if you guys saw a trailer for that movie. When I saw it, a couple things struck by me. One, it felt closer to Who Framed Roger Rabbit than to something like Space Jam 2 or like Looney Tunes Back in Action, right? The fact that John Mulaney and Andy Samberg was doing the voice, I heard Akiva, God, I can't pronounce his name, but he's part of Lonely Island crew. So not only do you have that, Joram is another part. They're all in this movie. So I was like, oh, a Lonely Island crew reunion doing a Chip and Dale's movie.
Fuck yeah.
Wonder how that could be. And there's a lot of big names that are in this movie in terms of lending their voices to there. Spoilers ahead, because I'm going to talk a little bit spoilers here and there. But Joe, I wanted to ask you, I think you were the one that told us that you thought, looking at the trailers, it's whatever. So you've seen the movie. What'd you think of the movie?
I don't think I was the target audience for this. It definitely felt like the target audience is obviously younger kids just because of the way it's animated. It's like a mix of, real life, hand-drawn, CGI, all that kind of stuff. I thought it was fine. And it just coming from a point of a young adult or middle-aged adult, whatever you want to put it, dude. And so keep in mind, Chip and Dale was just all. I mean, even the original Chip and Dale, the cartoon, it was fine. It's not like I'm like have a history of like a big fan of this kind of stuff. It is what I mean. I watched it on TV as a kid, and that's really about it. That's my whole experience with Chip and Dale. In terms of the storyline, I thought it was a basic storyline, but I think that all of the callbacks to all the other things and little tiny movie details was really cool. I think that if you showed, a 10 or 12-year-old this, a lot of it will kind of fly over their heads. So it might be more for the parents sort of thing. All I can think about is, Jesus, Disney owns too much stuff. Like, I completely forgot that Disney owns Indiana Jones. Because anytime there was like a major character or franchise that was appearing on the screen, I was like, did Disney get the authorization for this? And I looked it up. I'm like, oh, right, Disney owns it. So I've always had a mixed feeling about Disney owning too much, and that's just sort of been a growing thing for the last couple of years because of all the shit they're acquiring. But I don't know. I think it was fine. The story was it was fine. But my biggest enjoyment was just all these weird references to shit.
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
just
that's why you watch this movie.
And so yeah, that's really about it. I also think that is Dale the one that's computer animated, not the hand drawn?
Dale is the CGI.
I think that CGI has a more difficult challenge of expressing emotion versus hand drawn. I think hand drawn shows better expression of emotion. I think when I was looking at this, I don't know if that's a limitation of some kind, but I thought that Chip was a lot more expressive in the movie based on the animation than Dale. But that might be pinching pennies here, but it was fine, and that's my takeaway from it.
I'll tell you this: I knew watching the trailer I was going to be excited for this movie, and I thought the story was really good, right? I thought it was, and I thought the comedy worked really well. As I watched the movie, I was thinking to myself, who the hell is the target audience for this movie? It is not 10-year-old kids. They can watch it, but shit would just fly over their heads. This is specifically for us, for this generation, right? Look, I agree with you, Joe. When it comes to Chip and Dale, I remember them, but I don't remember a lot of shit about them. Like, I totally don't. So that actually is pretty good. That gives leeway to actually do like a reboot in terms of doing this, right? The biggest takeaway I have from this movie, outside of being very fun and it really is Lonely Island humor, because they're like playing things really straight and I could tell where their influence is at. What I really enjoyed about this movie is that I think with people with different movie companies, different studios always competing with each other, that I would not think that I would see other IPs in this movie on purpose being made fun of, right? If you think about DreamWorks, and there's a scene here, so like I said, spoilers ahead, when you see Shrek getting melted, would you think DreamWorks actually let that happen? And I was like shocked that they did. Same thing when you see, I thought one of the funniest parts when you see cats, when they go into that uncanny valley for that first time, and you see cats, all I was thinking about was Jared. I was all like, man, this was the last movie he saw before the pandemic. This shit is probably pretty funny just seeing those cats there. I just thought, seeing some of the Transformers, seeing My Little Pony, seeing McGruff the crime dog in the police station, I was like, wow, I am shocked that like they are getting a lot of this IP. Yes, Disney owns a lot. I'm just shocked that they're getting IPs like they were using like Batman as well, right? Like I was like, wow, it's crazy how they're doing all that stuff. So I truly enjoyed this movie. There's a lot of good and the biggest one of all, I think when you first see it, is Sonic was in this movie.
Ugly Sonic.
So, do you think that's a thing of like, hey, we're going to make fun of ourselves, or hey, we have these assets, might as well use it?
I don't think Disney owns Sonic.
They don't. All these things, like all the stuff that I mentioned, Disney does not own, right? And so they have to go to studios and kind of ask for permission to do it. That's why, though, when you see Shrek's face melt into that whole thing, I was thinking to myself, oh shit, like I can't believe DreamWorks saw the script and said, cool, you could do it, right? And I was like, oh.
Not cool. They paid them money, lots of money.
Yeah, but keep in mind, like if a kid really enjoys this movie and then they rewatch Shrek, they'll be like, they might have a different look at what Shrek is. But Shrek's also been made fun of by millions of people.
Also, Shrek was made like 50 years ago. It's not that big of a deal anymore.
50 years? God, are we that old?
50 years ago.
I still remember Shrek. But yeah, I when I watched this movie, I thought it was a kid's movie about finding the missing person and became a detective story, right? What I come to realize is this movie is about the history of animation and just the meta commentary on it. And I thought that was actually really cool to watch. Well, what did you think about it though, Jared?
Oh man, it was great. It was the funniest movie I've seen in a while. Mm-hmm. I thought it was, it was like a Ready Player One for people who like gave a shit.
Yes. That's a really good analysis.
Like totally. It was because you could just tell that they really loved just doing all of this. Mm-hmm. And the my favorite bits were like, the Polar Express eyes.
Yep.
All of the Seth Rogen's looking at him at the dwarf Seth Rogen.
That shit was the hilarious part. I think that was the hilarious part of the movie for me because I was like, "Oh shit!" Like when Pumbaa showed up, I'm like, "This is pretty good."
I thought it was more genuine than Space Jam. Like, they had all these references in there, but like, it wasn't just to do it, just to be like, "Oh, hey, look at what we own." It was like for like a genuine love of the source material. Like it just made me like happy watching. Like it was so funny. It treated us like an adult in that it all worked into the plot. As soon as like the Tenacious D song started playing, I was like, yeah, I'm in. This is amazing. Like unreal. So, I mean, I highly recommend for anybody who's our age, like even if you didn't watch a lot of Rescue Rangers, I really think that you'll enjoy it. Like, like when he accidentally put on the Indiana Jones stuff, it was so funny.
It was such a smart transition too.
Oh
because
yeah,
you're thinking to yourself, oh, they ran by a Chippendales like thing, and you look, I'm like Indiana Jones. I'm like, this makes so much sense. This is so good.
Oh yeah, but yeah, like I highly recommend it for anybody our age. I was laughing my ass off, and I can't even remember. I wish there was more Darkwing Duck in the movie.
Oh God, that ending was good.
Yeah, it was really good.
I mean, do you think that there's a limit to how many callbacks you can do? It was jam packed.
I think if they were done well, it's fine. Like the whole Terminator 2 callback.
Oh yes,
end.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that is so smartly done that I didn't have a problem with it.
I think that Doctor Strange could take a couple of notes from all the callbacks they can do here. Just, I don't know. It was definitely well done. I'm trying to think of another movie that did have all this kind of like, features of all the shit they own sort of thing. But I think Disney's the only one that can really pull that off, right? Just how massive they are.
Well, I don't know. A lot of times Disney doesn't like to be self-referential or self-deprecating. He's very
do you think it's completely self-deprecating?
In some instances, yeah, but like they don't like with the bootlegs, like the bootleg names of the just had me dying, and part of that, I don't think Disney likes that kind of stuff,
yeah,
to make any of their properties look secondary,
like think who the bad guy in this movie was.
Yeah,
right. It is Peter Pan, a middle-aged, overweight version of himself, being
Will Arnett, played by Will Arnett perfectly.
Yeah. And that's to your point. And the amount of, it's crazy because Andy Samberg, and I say this with a grain of salt because I don't know, but usually when Andy Samberg's in a project, a lot of people like to work with him, more or less, even if this is animated thing, right? But if you look at it, so John Mulaney is Chip, right? But you have Samberg. Will Arnett, like you said, he's playing Sweet Pete. Eric Bana was playing Monterey Jack. Dennis Haysbert, which is President Palmer from 24, he's playing Zipper. Keegan Michael Key was the cheesemonger. You, like I said, Seth Rogen. The shocking part was Captain Putty, because when I realized, when I looked at the credits and I saw it was J.K. Simmons, I was all like, oh.
Wait, did you not know that because of the voice immediately?
I couldn't. I didn't really
put the two together. Movies you've watched?
Yeah, I mean, you would think I would hear.
He has like an iconic voice for me personally.
Iconic.
Yeah,
iconic.
I didn't think about it right, and then I don't know. Having Chris Parnell being Dave Molinari at the end, I was just like, wow, why does this fit? Why does this track right now? That's a thing. I don't know. This movie, it's cool that I got to see Roger Rabbit. That's why, but they use the animation, I think, really well in this movie, and the action scenes, they hold up pretty well, at least to me. But like you said, the cameos, more people are going to take away from the cameos, but I think the story was solid enough that the cameos just pushed it over the top. Having Vin Diesel make a poster of Vin Diesel with Rescue Rangers is like a Fast and Furious one at the end. That was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty cool as well. I'm here with Jared. I agree. Like, I recommend this movie. You know, kids can watch it, but this movie is for people that grew up with Disney afternoon shows. I think that is you will have a greater appreciation for this movie. It's like a B plus in my book. What about you, Joe? What would you give this?
A B. I would say it's a B. I never. I mean, although you guys say it's targeted towards us, I just never felt like I was a target audience to it. I mean, it was fine. It could be worse. It could be better, sort of thing. And just because I wasn't too into it, and I only enjoyed a couple aspects of the movie, I'm just going to go ahead and give it a B.
What's your letter grade here, Jared?
I would say B plus, A minus. I'm teetering on that.
So yeah, you guys check it out. It's on Disney Plus. I think this is probably the best Disney original movie that has been out. I could be wrong. Because
Pixar's no longer a gold mine, I guess. Just went ahead and
what's their next movie? Do we even know?
Lightyear.
Oh yeah,
that's in 3 weeks.
I guess I don't even. God, that's not even registering for me.
The big problem is that because Disney bought it, and whenever something comes out, is it Disney? Is it Pixar? Is it Disney Pixar? For me personally, so
yeah.
And they've hit such a weird. And I don't know. I don't know if it's because would have Pixar done this anyway? Is it because Disney bought them? I'm still gonna go ahead and blame Disney. The stuff they've produced afterwards is just okay, and so we will see if Lightyear is good. All for it. If it's another one of those things you got to make because you bought Pixar for billions of dollars, yeah, not a fan. But yeah, that's just
And with that, you guys, Joe, tell us where they can find us.
You can always find us at Film Lovers GTTG on all social media. I hope you guys check this movie out. It's anytime you have a film representation on a streaming platform, even if you don't have it, you can always borrow someone's account, which is great. But yeah, that's the real of it. Now Netflix fucked up. They're losing half their business because they want to crack down. It is what it is. You're making billions of dollars. Fucking relax, Netflix. Jesus Christ.
It kind of makes me want to like cancel my Netflix.
Dude, seriously, like just go to the seas, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So look, man, just that's another thing for another day. But you can always find us at Film Lovers GTDG. Let us know if we're right, if you're wrong. Definitely check out the movie. It's at least worth the watch, regardless of how young or how old you may be.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at jluthy, JLUTHY. I will be tweeting about AEW's pay-per-view next weekend. Yeah, it should be a really, really good one.
I saw the promos for that. It looks really good.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Yeah. All right, guys. And you guys can always follow me at JNO11. That's JNGO11. Until next week, we'll be talking about probably, I would say, one of the best trilogies you'll ever play in a video game because we're going to watch that movie. We'll talk about Uncharted. Until then, we'll see you guys next week.